On tape, Michael Jackson is a man full of contradictions.
I pray when I see something that's totally magnificent. How could you not see that and go, wow, and think of God?
Reflective and grateful at times. So self-absorbed and brazen at others that he sounds almost delusional about his power.
You believe you were face to face with Hitler?
Absolutely.
But you really think you could have gotten through to Hitler?
Yes.
By finding the good in him somehow?
Yeah, I think I could have. I really do. I think nobody really talked to him. They'd say brown nosers, but that's what they were. That's what he wanted, that's what they did.
On the one side, he seems to be very self-loathing, hates what he sees in the mirror, insecure. On the other hand, he paints himself to be somebody who could heal sick children, who could have turned Hitler around.
Unbelievable statements. He was either showing me an incredibly wholesome side that made you fall in love with the kind of person he was, or a strange, bizarre dimension, Messiah complex, insatiable for attention.
When it comes to women, the king of pop sounds especially conflicted. He describes his mom, Catherine, as nothing short of saintly.
I don't know anybody like her. She's like a Mother Teresa. Very few people like that.
He adored his mother and cherished her.
And yet, when he talks about other women, you got the sense that he didn't trust women.
Michael exhibited tendencies of misogyny, that women are materialistic, that women want things from you.
Women can do some things that make guys very unhappy. I've seen it with my brothers. I've seen my brothers crying in tears and pulling the grass out of the lawn out of frustration because of their wives.
Jackson describes women as manipulative, disappointing. Here he talks about how badly Lisa Marie Presley let him down when she didn't want children.
She promised me that before we married, that would be the first thing we would do was have children. So I was brokenhearted. And I walked around all the time holding these little baby dolls. And I'd be crying. That's how badly I wanted it, you know.
For a 42-year-old man, the immaturity that comes across on Michael Jackson's tapes is startling. Sometimes he sounds just like a teenager.
I've never asked a girl out of my life. They have to ask me. Really? Yes. I can't ask a girl out.
Had he been able to muster up the courage, Jackson told Rabbi Shmuley there was a certain princess who would have been at the top of his list.
I like the way Lady Diana would make her kids wait in line. Or amusement parks for things. And everybody, I thought that was so beautiful. She was good.
You felt an immediate connection with her?
Yeah. I loved her very much. Yeah, she was my type. She was my type, for sure.
There was no date with Lady Di. But romance was definitely in the air when the king of pop stepped out with other high-profile celebs. Tatum O'Neal was his first girlfriend.
When I held Tatum's hand, I was like intense. It was a magical thing. It was better than kissing her. It was better than anything. I remember we went to this club. I don't go to clubs. It was called the Rock. And we were watching the band. I was sitting there, and underneath the table, she was holding my hand. I was like melting. She held her hand, and we felt, wow, like fireworks going off.
The song Pretty Young Thing could easily have been inspired by his affection for Brooke Shields.
That was one of the loves of my life. I just wish she loved me as much as I loved her, you know. And we dated a lot. We went out a lot. Her pictures were all over my wall, my hair, everything. When I went to the Academy Awards, they like Diana Ross. And this girl walked up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Brooke Shields." I said, "Yeah." Then she goes, "Are you going to the after party?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Good, I'll see you at the park." I'm going, "Oh my God!" And she knows she's all over my room. So we get to the after party. She comes up to me, she goes, "Will you dance with me?" I'm like, "Yes, I would dance with you." Man, we exchanged numbers, and I was up all night singing, spinning around in my room, so happy, you know. It was great.
At Jackson's memorial service, Shields would reflect tearfully on their tender bond.
When we were together, we were two little kids having fun.
Did you get the feeling talking to him that he ever got beyond the sort of that adolescent approach to romance, the kind of giggly, almost kid-like?
For me, it was actually something, it was a blessing to see such a famous man saying that holding hands was suddenly so special. But if you ask me in general, do I think that there was an adolescent quality to Michael? Of course.
It's a quality that made for an odd match, with one star who wasn't the least bit shy about doing the asking out.
I asked him out to dinner. I said, my treat, I'll drive, just you and me.
Jackson was all smiles in the car, but on these tapes, he reveals that the material girl's saucy ways felt more than a little dangerous.
Like a library of books of women who are tied to walls. I left Spanky books. Well, I want to see that. I think she likes shock value. Madonna laid the law down before we went out. I am not going to Disneyland. Okay, that's out. I didn't ask you to go to Disney. Okay, we're going to the restaurant. Afterwards, we're going to a strip bar. I am not going to a strip bar where they cross-dress. Guys who are girls who are... I am not going there. Just afterwards, she wrote some mean things about me and the friends, and I said that she's a nasty witch.
Michael's tough on Madonna in the book, and he seems to be saying that the reason is that Madonna tried to drag him into a world of prurience, and maybe there was somewhat of a rivalry between them.
Whether it was a true rivalry or not, Jackson does paint Madonna as envious when he talks about jealousy in Hollywood.
They admire you and know you're wonderful and great, but they're jealous because they wish they were in your place, wish they were in your shoes. And M is one of them. Madonna. She's not a nice. She hasn't been kind. She's jealous. Absolutely. She's a woman, and I think that's what bothers her. Women don't scream for other women, and men are too cool to scream for women. And I get that. I get the fainting and the adulation and the notoriety that she doesn't. She can't get that.
But like Brooke Shields, Madonna had only fond memories of her time with Jackson when she hailed him in a moving speech at the MTV Video Music Awards.
And we sat on the couch like two kids. And somewhere in the middle of the film, his hand snuck over and held mine. It felt like he was looking for a friend more than a romance. And I was happy to oblige him.
And Shmuley suspects that now Jackson would be far less harsh on his friend Madge than he was in the tapes recorded 9 years ago.
At the time, Madonna had a certain image. She has changed that image substantially. And Michael used to speculate that as a mother, she would change. And he probably would agree with that today.
One thing was clear, though. To the rabbi, Jackson seemed incapable of sustaining any meaningful relationship with a woman. And with no adult love in his life, was the writing on the wall. Coming up,
Where's the children I would choose dead?
did he choose it? What the rabbi thought when he heard Michael was gone.
My first reaction was, you stupid, stupid man, how could you do this?
When the Michael Jackson tapes continues.